Small business revenue collapses. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian Heiser here and welcome to another episode of Heiser Says. I have my stein of coffee. I thought we'd have a look at this article from news.com.au that was prepared by James Hall. He discusses the revenue collapse for small businesses here in Australia. And before we go through this, let's look at a bit of background information. Let's just look at some details about small businesses. Now I'm just looking over at my screen here to show you where I got this data from. You can see here it's from the Australian Small Business and Family Enterprise Ombudsman, and I'll link to it in the pinned comment if you want to go through the entire document. But there's some relevant stuff I thought we should go through. So we'll have a look here. Measured by employment, the small business numbers. Now, against the ABS definition of a small business, less than 20 employees, small businesses continue to account for nearly 98% of all Australian businesses. Since the last report in 2016, the total number of Australian businesses has increased by 5.5%. With increases across all categories, small businesses employ 2.2 million. The 3.3 million figure that is often quoted relies on historic Treasury data. So 2.2 million people are employed by small businesses here in Australia. And the number's gone up. So much for us being a bunch of lazy Australians, according to the RBA, lazy entrepreneurs. But the number's gone up. So 2.2 million people. They employ 2.2 million people. And the firms in small, 0 to 19, are 2.2 million firms. Then median, 20 to 199 is 50,000 firms. Then just the 200 plus firms of employees is only 3,855. Just look at that. Wonder who has more political power. Yeah, there's another question. So, business count by number of employees. So 0, non-employing, 62.1. That'd probably be my business. It's just me and the wife at the moment. Although we were up to 12. So we were definitely in small. Micro, 1 to 4. Small, 8.5%. Medium, which is 2.2. And large, 0.2. You can see here just the employment by business size. So small, it's up and down. Medium's in the middle. Large, it's gone up a little bit. And I know this data is from 2017 to 18. But, it gives us an understanding of the scale. Just the scale of small business here in Australia. How many businesses, small businesses were forced to lock down compared to large and medium businesses? McDonald's was still operating, Woolworths was still operating, Coles was still operating. That would be interesting. Probably a topic for a future video to do a bit of investigation. So, the economic lockdown has caused a 75% revenue drop for small businesses in Australia. And they make up nearly 98% of the businesses in our nation, everyone. And yet you still have people expecting housing to shoot up. I don't understand. I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not smart enough or too cynical to believe what people are telling me. A huge amount of small Australian businesses have lost a whopping 75% of their income due to the pandemic crisis. Australians are being urged to shop local after the massive blow from the pandemic crisis was revealed. 3 in 4 businesses have recorded up to 75% decline in revenue as a result of the deadly economic lockdown, according to new data from a leading research group. And the smaller the entity, the heavier the losses have been. Yesterday, we were doing a measure up for a client. They wanted to convert retail premises. And it's really quite sad. It was really quite sad going in there and just seeing the remains of the previous business that was in there. It was like a party venue for little girls. They had a frozen room where the girls could go and get all the makeup and really get dolled up and do a fashion show. And, I could see my daughters just absolutely loving it. But then we saw the pamphlets there and we saw the price tag. Like $700 for a party of 8. $1,000 plus for a, higher party. The problem was, this wasn't in a socio-economically well-off area. It was out near Ipswich, out near Redbank, a lower socio-economic area. So that's, and it was sad to see because the fit-out was beautiful. They spent a lot of money on it. So small businesses are going to be hit harder with this recession. Nearly 1/3 of sole traders said they've lost more than 75% of their income, compounding the significant blow to businesses during the summer's devastating bushfires. The Small Business Peak body said the horror falls recorded in the research, which it commissioned through the CT Group, should serve as a reminder for Australians to focus their spend locally. Small businesses are the heartbeat of their communities, but they're doing it really tough, Council of Small Business Organisations of Australia Chief Executive Peter Strong said. Small businesses cop it. 98% of businesses. Just think about all the employment negotiations and the deals. Who do you think here would have more say on it? And this is where you get the danger of crony capitalism. You get the bigger firms lobbying for more regulation, more restrictions, which they can afford to mitigate, where the small players can't. You just got to cop it. You've got to cop it. So it's a way of, building a moat through government legislation. This is one way how government picks winners. But don't worry, we need to be safe. We need to be safe. We need the big daddy government taking care of us. They're worried about losing customers, and their mental health is suffering. A third of sole traders have seen almost 80% of their revenue evaporate overnight. David Heffernan is a pharmacist at Kilberry Beach in New South Wales, who said his business had already been impacted by the fires that tore through the state's south coast. So it's been a tough year for us even before the lockdown. And rural truck stop operator, the 24/7 group, said the combination of the devastating bushfires and the pandemic lockdown meant it had suffered a double hit. We first suffered because of the SA bushfires, and then saw our weekly revenues fall by more than 70% during April and May. As the largest employer in some of the small regional towns in which we operate, we are conscious of keeping our people employed and our community going. But it has been tough, and it's likely to struggle for some time yet. 1/3 of business owners have been forced to reduce their own pay to keep the doors open. And concerningly, more than half say their livelihoods and mental health have suffered. I mean, that's the challenge of being a small business owner, which a lot of people have got absolutely no appreciation of. Sometimes you've got to pay your staff before you pay yourself, which can be tough when your clients are doing the dodge on you. More than 60% of the operators surveyed said they intend to buy from other small enterprises into the future, but Mr. Strong said this needs to be extended throughout the community. Here's the thing. It's all talk. It's all talk. People, will advocate for buying local, buying Australian, but a lot of people love talking. A lot of people love virtue signaling. Sadly, a lot of people can't afford to. They're doing it tough. They don't want to take the hit to the quality of life that it would entail. Small businesses can't do it alone, which is why it's promising that 63% of Australians say they will buy goods or services from a local business over the next month. Maybe I'm just being too cynical. Maybe they will. Maybe people will happily cop a reduction in their quality of life. Maybe we'll start to see a nationalistic, movement build. But I just keep thinking of Dick Smith and all his products. How, they all fell over. People, he lost heart when people trusted Aldi more than his brand. It's been heartening to see people rally behind their local businesses over the past few months, but we still need more Australians to think and go local first when they shop. When you shop locally, your money stays in the community, meaning that local small businesses will still be there when things are back to normal, and they can continue to sponsor the local sports fete, or school fete, or sports club. Locally, small businesses are the beating heart of their communities, but together, they're the backbone of the national economy. And what we can do is let's just have a look at the ABS. And we'll go here to key figures. This is the retail trade in April. And we can see from March to April 2020, it fell 17.7%. you can see here throughout the year. And that monthly crash. So we had a little pickup, probably toilet paper and supplies, and it took a big hit. So, retail, small business, huge part of our economy. Huge part of our economy, huge employer, big part of retail, let's say as well, has copped it really hard. Really, really hard. What do you think, everyone? Do you think people will step up, spend local, buy Australian made? And am I just being too cynical? Or is it all talk? And when he goes to the shops, people look at their own, they can't afford that luxury, sadly. They got to get what's cheaper. What do you think? Let me know your take on it in the comments below. What are you doing to buy locally made? Or can you just not afford to do it? You're more worried about paying your rent, paying your mortgage, keeping food on the table for your family. And how have we gotten in a mess like this, where buying local could be seen as a luxury? As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. Simply interacting with the channel is a great way to let the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying the content. It'll share the videos and help the channel grow. You can support us financially via joining the channel on YouTube or Patreon, using our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and KuCoin, buying our merch from Heiser Says. You can see the pocket squares Rachel made behind me, using Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or supporting us via PayPal. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.